All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 357 Magnum versus 10mm test. Today we have some Underwood ammo to try out. So I have actually done this test in the past, but our lighting wasn't the best, so hopefully it's a little bit better today. So for the 357 Magnum, that one is 125 grain XTP. That's what that one looks like. It does have your nickel plated brass, and that one's rated 1700 feet per second. And for 10mm, that one is the 155 grain XTP. Also nickel plated brass, and that one's rated at 1500 feet per second. So we'll see how close we come today. So for a 357 Magnum, we'll be using our Ruger Security 6. That one does have a 4-inch barrel. And for our 10mm, we'll be using our Rock Island Ultra FS. That one does have a 5-inch barrel. So we'll be going through our gel. That is a 10% block. We do have our catch block behind that, so a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front, and like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how these rounds do head to head. First one up will be that 357 Magnum. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. So it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1,662 feet per second. So that thing was moving. We almost hit advertise on that 4-inch. So that is awesome to see. All right, so let's see what we did on that. Looks like we got a perfect hit on that block. And you can see right down in that cavity. It looks like we got some huge star pattern going on so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh man, check that out. That is crazy. That almost took up that whole block. So that's going to be a tough one to get that 10 mil in. That is insane. Check that out. That is a huge stretch going on. Pretty much carried all the way out to about that last half inch or so, or inch, I'm sorry. And then we did actually make it into that second block. Man, that is nuts. So let's see how much damage we got. We actually did get a blowout here on the left side. So all the way over our widest spot. Let's see, we will do our cross sections too so we can get a little bit more accurate measurement, but we were right at 4 1/4 inches. So man, that is crazy. That is a ton of damage. So let's check it out from the side. And same thing from the side. So it looks like as soon as that thing came in, immediately started opening up, pretty much exploded in there. You can see quite a few fragments going on. And then it did start to settle down towards the end, but man, that is insane. And then we did actually make it into that second block. So let's see if we can get a measurement here from the side. So our widest spot from the side, we are at about 3 1/8 inches. So not as much from the side as the top, but still, man, that is crazy. That's a ton of damage in that gel. And let's see where that round landed. You can actually see it down in there. It's facing downward. And at our leading edge, we were right at 3 inches. So that made it a total penetration of 14 inches. So that is really good to see. So let's set up for that 10mm and see how that one does. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, our impact velocity on that one was 1,445 feet per second. So it's actually pretty low from what I'm normally getting. I'm normally in the 1,500s at least, or super high 14. So that one, we did not quite make it, but still pretty good. All right, so it looks like we got a perfect hit on this one also. And just like the last, you can see right down that cavity, there is a little bit of fragmentation already and a huge star pattern. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, check that one out. So what I actually had to do with this one is flip the block completely over. It's not a side-by-side, just because the 357 took up so much of the room on that side. So I actually had to flip the block. But you can see, man, that thing came in, and same as that last one, is dumping a ton of energy. A lot of fragmentation. Carried that energy most of the way through, and then we actually did make it into that second block. So let's see if we can get a decent measurement on this one also. Might be a little bit tough because they did kind of collide towards the end. So let's see. So on this one, we are about 3 3/4 inches. So like I said, I will cut these open just so we can get a little bit more accurate measurement, but 3 3/4 so far, so not too bad. And from the side, oh yeah, that's awesome. So it looks like as soon as this one came in, pretty much immediately started opening up, and there's just fragments all over the place. That one's just dumping all of its energy. Pretty much that first 2/3 of the block, and it did start to settle down a little bit. Man, there's a pretty big stretch from the side. So it looks like we're the very bottom to the very top. We are just about 3 1/2 inches. So not as much from the side, but still really good, man. That's a lot of fragments going on. And then, like I just said, we did make into that second block. So it is this round here on the top, and that one is facing towards the left or towards us. And we got almost 2 3/4 inches of penetration on that. So let's see, 13 3/4 inches total penetration. Sorry. So definitely not too bad on that. So that 357 Magnum literally made it 1/4 inch further, but man, I think that one had quite a bit more energy dump right there. So that's super impressive. So let's check these tracks out one more time. What I'm going to do is actually flip the block over so we can get a little bit more, at least a little bit clearer picture, because these things were really dumping some energy. So this one on the right is that 357 Magnum. This one towards the back is that 10mm. But man, that is crazy. So as soon as we came in, opened up and just started dumping fragments already, and a huge stretch cavity, pretty much carrying all the way through. And then we did make it into that second block, and same with that 10mm. So this one we're actually going the opposite way. But same thing, as soon as that thing came in, pretty much exploded. Looks like there's a lot more fragments in this track, and then definitely dumping quite a bit of energy. So about that last inch or so, and then we did actually make it into that second block also. So man, those were both super impressive rounds right there. I know a lot of people compare 357 mag to 10mm, and those rounds were definitely really close. Like I said, I have tested those in the past, and they're usually neck and neck, but I think that 357 Magnum won this one. But let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. They both got some awesome expansion. So one on the right is that 357 Magnum, one on the left is that 10mm. So here is that 357 mag. That thing got some major expansion, super big mushrooming on that. And that thing had enough velocity for those pedals just to peel right over that base, but pretty impressive there. Tons of expansion so far. Pretty good mushrooming. And for that 10mm, same thing. Just mushroom right back. And same with this one. Peel those pedals right over that base. There's still quite a bit of gel in this. So like always, we'll rinse them here and get our screenshots and all that good stuff here at the end. But those were both very impressive rounds right there. Do one time from the bottom. So one on the right is that 357 Magnum, one on the left is that 10mm. And last time from the top. There we go, guys. That one was 357 mag versus 10mm. As always, thanks for watching, guys. All right, so here's that cross section for that 357 Magnum. Check these things out. These are some massive splits going on in here. Pretty much all the way across that block. Same on this side. You can see a few fragments going on, but just a crazy amount of splitting going on. I did remeasure these, and these are sitting right at 4 1/2 inches. So that's some of the most damage that we have gotten in quite a few of these tests, unless we're shooting like the really big bore, like the 41 or 44 or something. But That is crazy impressive. It was almost 800 foot-pounds for that 357, so really, really awesome to see there. Those are some really big splits. So let's cut this open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side, this top is the left. So you can see pretty much as soon as this one came in, right at that 1/4 inch mark, started opening up. You can see a huge stretch going all the way through. Most of the cavity actually went the opposite way, so you're not gonna be able to tell that really, really big stretch, but you can, see most of it at least. But as soon as that thing came in, it pretty much started fragmenting right off the bat. You can see a little bit of that cotton t-shirt, and there's tons of little tiny specks of lead in there. But we have some massive, massive splitting going on. Really, really deep cuts. Check that out. That is a ton of damage. The same on this other side. You could probably tell a little bit better. Came in, parachute open. There's a huge stretch going on, but you can see all those little tiny, tiny fragments. That thing was moving out pretty good too, so pretty much expected there. But man, that is pretty crazy to see what's actually going on. But those cuts are super deep, pretty much all the way down to that board. So this one's going to be quite a bit of a mess to clean up, but really cool to see. And here's one more angle so you guys can really tell what's going on. You can see how deep those splits are and how much damage is actually going on in that gel. But tons of little itty bitty fragments of that lead. But there we go. That one was that 125 grain XTP loaded by Underwood. All right, and here's that cross section for that 10 millimeter. Same thing with this one. Huge, huge splitting going on. This one has a little bit more distinct kind of star cut that we normally get. But massive amount of damage on this one too. I did remeasure this. We're pushing right at 4 inches, so 1/2 inch less than that 357 Magnum. Like I said earlier, when we do test those, we're normally getting closer to that 1500 mark, and they're usually neck and neck on foot-pounds of energy and all that. But that 357 Magnum actually looks like it pushed a little bit past this one today, but not too bad at all. Really good to see those huge splits. So let's cut it open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right, this top is the left. You can see as soon as this one came in right at that 1/4 inch mark where it started opening up, and just a huge stretch cavity going all the way through. And you can see all those fragments just dumping right away. You can see quite a bit of that cotton t-shirt that it did drag into, but pretty big stretch going on so far. And same on this top side, right at that 1/4 inch mark, kind of parachute open, just dumping a ton of energy all the way through. But same on this side. This one I think probably fragmented a little bit more than that 357, but just a ton of little tiny lead fragments going all the way through these tracks. But pretty impressive there. Like I said before, it was a little bit light on the power on this one, but still did a ton of damage. And here's that last angle, so you guys can get a little bit better idea what's going on. You can see those huge splits and quite a bit more of those lead fragments going on. But there we go. That one was at 10 millimeter, 155 grain nozzle loaded by Underwood.